Hi, my name is Christina and I'm here with Katrina, and we are going to be discussing showing up for yourself and also for others. So thank you for being here with me today. I'm so blessed.
Of course.
Thank you. I just want to touch on showing up, and our journey has been so beautiful. You and I talk and discuss things all the time, and I think it's perfect that we're doing this talk together because I see you and how you show up for others and also yourself. So, yeah, let's just talk about that. How do you show up? What does showing up for others mean to you?
Just being a true friend, honestly. People have had their trials. I've had my trials. And I've had experiences where people, I guess not true friends, have turned against me. But my true friends are friends forever. It's kind of like a marriage through thickness and,
Thick and thin.
through thick and thin.
Yeah.
That's how I look at friendships. When it's a true friendship, you're going to be there through sickness and through health.
Yeah, absolutely. You and I see eye to eye when it comes to that. I don't give up on my friends, and I've seen that with you too, on the people that I love.
Right.
And I think showing up has different stages as well. The people that we hold close to us, you show up on a deeper level, but also just showing up for others, period, is so important to me, of what we've been seeing in this world today of suicide and depression.
Absolutely.
And I think it's really important to show up when it doesn't take, it doesn't take much of our time. It doesn't take much to be there for somebody, have a quick conversation with somebody. You don't know what people are going through. And so showing up has different stages. We can show up and help somebody move, or show up and, like I just said, have a quick conversation to see how someone is and how their life is flowing.
Sometimes
Showing
that
you
little
care.
text,
Yeah.
The phone calls are out now. Texts are more in. But
Yeah.
sometimes just that little text, hey, thinking of you.
Yes.
Want to see how you are.
Yeah, how we randomly do. I
Yeah.
love that. When it pops up, it's like, oh, we're busy in our lives, but we still care, and we still are showing each other that we love each other.
The true friendships of even also, I believe, is you could not talk for a month or two, because like you said, busy lives, but when you do see each other, it's like you never missed each other.
Yeah, not a moment have gone by. Absolutely. And so tell me how what does showing up for yourself mean to you, first off?
Being true to yourself, I actually have learned that throughout life, through my trials and tribulations, is being true to yourself. I mean, there's growth, of course. You always grow in different ways through different stages in your life. But I feel like being true to yourself and continuing to know who you really are.
Yeah.
I think that's honestly showing up for yourself. I don't know how else to explain it. To me, that's really truly how I feel about it.
Yeah.
Is just being comfortable in your own skin.
Yeah, absolutely.
Being comfortable in your own personality. I mean, there's always going to be someone who may not agree with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
But the people that are going to be your true friends are always going to be there.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're not made for everybody.
Exactly.
I've always held true to that, is we're not made for everybody, so we don't need to worry about somebody that comes in for a moment, passes us by for a brief second, doesn't stay. There's people meant for moments, there's people meant for a lifetime, and that's okay. That's the beauty of this world and this life that we're living in today. I think in my journey, what I've really seen showing up for myself was a hard one, because I had my son, we both had our children young,
Yeah.
and I never was alone. I was always in the noise. and the noise can get really noisy. And so these last 4 years, this growth of just really sitting in the silence was a big adjustment for me. And it forced me to find out who I was as an individual. That self-care, showing up for me. And because I was told from every single angle of my childhood and relationships that, you're a mom. You don't have time for yourself. That's not what we do. You're here for everybody else. Basically, you're here for everybody else, and you don't matter, really. That was instilled in my head. So these last couple of years of just being able to sit in the silence and find out who I was, who I truly was as an individual, it was like I was starting all over again. It was the most beautiful, rough, all of it.
Roller coaster.
Roller coaster of a ride.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but the beauty of it, of really just showing up for myself and allowing myself to be heard and figuring out who I was as an individual, my boundaries, what I like and what I dislike, because before it was like, oh, anybody and everybody, anything and everything, you show up,
Forgive.
Yeah.
It's easy to forgive.
Yeah.
I believe forgiveness is really important in life, but at the same time, I've also learned that you could forgive from afar.
Love from a distance.
Love from a distance.
And I've noticed that with family too, because again, how I grew up in this, circle, anything, everything goes, give yourself to everybody. Your energy goes to everybody. And these last couple of years, I was, no, my energy is sacred. And who I give myself to, my time and my energy, I'm going to be very picky with it. And again, it's been up and down, a roller coaster of figuring out that balance. And what do you do to find that balance of giving to yourself plus showing up for others? That's the big one. So what do you do with that? Like, how do you manage that in your day-to-day life?
Wow. I have a busy life, of course. I work, children still, grandchildren now, and
yes, congratulations.
Thank you. Relationships. I think also there's times when everyone is still asleep, I just wake up on my own and I say that's my alone time. I dwell in my silence of that I have and just reflect. Even sometimes during the day when it's just quiet at home, I'll just reflect on what I've been through in life and who's there and what I want in life. I mean, because we continue to grow every day.
Absolutely.
I think that's a huge thing, is just continuing to reflect on what you want in life.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean,
And yeah, growing every day is so real, right? Because we do. It's such a beautiful thing. If somebody that we ran into 5 years ago, and then we ran into them today, if we're on that growth journey, if we're always pushing to accelerate, be better, be more our best self, we're completely different than we were 5 years ago. And that thrills me. That gives me chills. That is just so there's beauty in all of that. And really that balance on myself, what I do with that, what I've seen my growth in the last couple of years is, like you said, waking up early. My auntie always says, the early bird gets the worm. Mm-hmm. And that can be for, anything. Getting up and going to the gym, getting that extra time for yourself, whether it be in the morning or in the evening. Mine's the morning because that's when I get time to myself. But journaling, reading, reflecting on what you want, writing down what you want, and putting action behind it is so important. But then also allowing myself the space to be there for others and show up for the people that I care about and love. And finding that balance is so beautiful.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and all of it is just such a beautiful journey in that aspect. Friendships, what I see is so beautiful. You and I have talked about is the friends, the rooted friends are your people that have stuck. Are people, well, you tell me about that. You like to talk about that. You always share that with me, and I love it every time that you do. The people that have been rooted in your life that you see and you look back from, young adulthood, of the people that have stuck, and yeah, just share that with me.
It's funny because I have friendships probably, I'm 40 years old and I have friendships over 30 years old.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tear up a little because my mother no longer is here, but she used to love a song that was, and I didn't really know the true meaning of it until the older I get. Now I see it. Friends are friends forever when the Lord is Lord of them. I was raised in the church. I may not necessarily go religiously now, still instilled in me, but I've noticed the friendships that I've been able to continue to hold are people that also have somewhat of that same concept. We were kind of have the same background as far as being raised in the church.
Absolutely.
Not saying that some of my friends that aren't raised in the church, that they're not just as important. Never. Because I have friends, we like I said, we all grow every day. Some may have been raised in early life in church, but no longer are going. But it's just that instillment, no matter what our parents did truly instill in us.
Yeah, and that's what it boils down to. I hold my faith very strongly, and my journey of how I was raised wasn't so correct in my eyes, but I still hold that foundation of how my mom raised me, and I know your mom raised you very similar too, and I think that is the foundation of who we are and the friendships that we've held, for the friendships that go back in that length of time, because I have a few too. Actually, my core in the friendships that have over the years, I've distanced myself or let go gracefully. Some that are hard, I thought I would always be friends with them forever, and they remove themselves, or I distance myself from certain people. The core of my friendships do go back that far too. Like, we were born and raised together, and it's so beautiful, and it's just such a beautiful thing. My friendship goes back like 15 years, and that's so beautiful. And truly holding yourself accountable for being that friend that shows up is what, where my heart lies, and just being genuine in you and everything that you do, so, but yeah, thank you for being here.
Thank you
Thank
for
you for
having
all
me.
that you do. I love you.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. Yeah, thank you for sharing your knowledge in that, because that's one thing that I always question, and I always try to figure out, okay, where can I be better for myself and for others? And I just want to let you know that you're just a light in my world, and how you move so graciously and lovingly, and showing up for people, the people that you care about, and even just people in general, is you shine. Absolutely, you shine, and it shows, and I'm so grateful to be your friend and in your life.
Don't get me wrong, we've all had our dark times. I've had dark times, but those dark times have also been able to become the light.
Yeah.
Has brought me to light. And that's also showing up for myself, because when I was, I felt like I was in a dark place, I was able to find my way out.
Yeah.
And become the person that I truly want to be.
Yeah, absolutely. I hold 100% strong to the difficult times of what we go through have the most impact. Because we have to, I've been told, how did you go through everything that you've gone through and you're still like, you're this, you know, you're you. And it's because I know that I have a purpose and everything that I'm going through is for a reason. And it's making me who I need to be for that purpose. So,
What's that saying? What doesn't kill you makes you stronger?
yeah, absolutely. Can we just like have some like more good moments over like
Yeah.
Let's have more
I wanna
better
be strong
moments
the
and
whole
stronger
time.
moments. Yeah, I want to be strong all the time. But thank you to everybody. It was.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Have a good night.
Good job.
Thanks.